In this video, we'll be talking about the oxides of sulfur and nitrogen. Remember, in the last video, what we talked about was the oxides of carbon. And we said we have carbon monoxide and carbon dioxide. We talked about them extensively. Now, let us come back. We said one of the major air pollutants are the oxides of carbon, which we talked about. Now, we'll be moving to oxides of sulfur and oxides of nitrogen. So what are the oxides of sulfur? We have sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and nitrogen dioxide. Those are the three oxides of sulfur. So anytime you hear what are the gases that can contribute to air pollution, think of oxides of carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, water vapor H2O, and then methane CH4, and then think of oxides of sulfur, carbon dioxide, carbon monoxide, and sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, and nitrogen dioxide. So let us continue. What are the culprits behind what are the things that sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide and nitrogen dioxide, what are the things it causes? The oxides of sulfur and nitrogen causes two things: acid rain and smog. Smog is a situation whereby have you ever woken up during an harmattan season and you see this dark cloud that covers? That dark cloud is caused by the mist, which is the condensation of water. In this situation, you have a very black, thick cloud that covers a place. That is what is called a smog. So where do you get sulfur dioxide from? From the combustion of coal. We don't typically use coal anymore, but in the past, we used coal for trains and some vehicles too in the past, and ships. Now we don't use coal anymore, but we still use vehicles. So it means that we'll have oxides of nitrogen as a major problem from the exhaust pipe. We have nitrogen monoxide and nitrogen dioxide as the major problem. So what are their combined effects? Oxides of sulfur causes acid rain. Oxides of nitrogen causes smogs. Keep that in mind. Oxides of sulfur causes acid rain. Oxides of nitrogen causes smogs. How is an acid rain formed and how is smog formed? Gases of sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxide, nitrogen dioxide dissolves in rainwater. And so when they dissolve in rainwater, they form an acid. And that acid corrugates the roof. It affects the human skin. I remember when we were in primary school then, when I was in primary school then, there were rumors that acid rain will fall by 20. I think I was in primary 4 or primary 5 then. They were saying, oh, acid rain is going to fall. And people were collecting prayer water so that by the time the acid rain falls, it won't affect their skin. That's a lie. If an acid rain falls, if a very big if, and this acid rain has fallen in places that burns a lot of coal. For example, Nevada in the US has had situations of acid rains. Montreal in the US has had situations of acid rains because those places have very high coal mines, and they are currently having bad situation of smogs. So that is the way acid rains are formed. The gases are dissolved in water and they form an acidic content in the water. The acids are not going to be concentrated. Remember, why won't it be concentrated? Because they are dissolved in water. They are not going to be concentrated like pure acid, but it can still have a very huge effect. So, next, how is smogs formed? Smogs are formed by a secondary pollutant, and the secondary pollutant is nitrogen oxide plus a solid pollutant plus water will give you smog. Let me explain how this will work. So this is the gas, nitrogen oxide. The solid pollutant can be smoke, and then water dissolved in the air causes smogs. For example, like I said, if a place where coal is mined regularly, in that place regularly, they will have smogs. Why? Because there is release of nitrogen oxide through the vehicles used to transmit the coal, and solid particles like dust particles of the coal or the charcoal, plus the water formed by the condensation early in the morning. So those three things will combine together and it will give you this dark cloud. Look at this image here. This dark cloud or blacking cloud hovering around the city, like it's covering the city. And so smog is formed by this situation. So we have come to the end of air pollution, but not also the end. We have talked about, I want to recap. We have talked about oxides of carbon. We have talked about oxides of sulfur. We have also talked about oxides of nitrogen. So the next video will talk about hydrocarbons and chlorofluorocarbons.